Do you ever wonder how much time you truly have once you cross the age of 70? Every single year begins to feel more valuable, almost like a gift that must be cherished. The truth is, your body is already speaking to you, quietly sending signals that can reveal much about how many more years you may enjoy. Some people in their 70s continue to feel sharp, strong, and full of vitality, while others slow down noticeably, facing health struggles and constant fatigue. What makes the difference? Often, it lies in a handful of subtle yet powerful signs. These quiet indicators can provide a rare glimpse into your future. In this video from Senior Life Guide, we will uncover 7 meaningful signs that may reveal how long you could live once you pass 70. These are not myths or old sayings. They are based on consistent patterns carefully observed by scientists and physicians studying people who manage to live long, vibrant lives. By the end of this video, you will not only recognize these signs in your own body and lifestyle, but you will also understand practical ways to strengthen your chances of staying healthy and extending your life. Stay tuned until the last moment, because you might be overlooking tiny details that can create massive differences for your future. Once you become aware of these clues, you will have a clearer picture of where you currently stand and what positive changes you may need to make in order to add more precious years to your journey. Now, let us begin. Sign number 1. Your walking speed. One of the strongest predictors of how long you might live beyond 70 is not hidden in your genes, your medical charts, or even your diet. Surprisingly, it is something far simpler: the pace at which you walk. Research has repeatedly shown that older adults who keep a steady, brisk walking rhythm during their 70s and beyond are more likely to enjoy longer lives compared to those whose pace slows dramatically. Walking speed is closely connected to your overall health, your muscle strength, your cardiovascular endurance, and even the vitality of your brain. Imagine 2 men, both 75 years old. Joe begins each morning with a walk, maintaining a confident pace. Now picture Walter, also 78, who began noticing that twisting a bottle cap or holding a heavy shopping bag was suddenly much harder. He dismissed it as nothing more than aging, but in reality, his weakening grip was signaling loss of muscle mass, which made him more vulnerable to falls, injuries, and declining independence. Your hands often mirror the condition of your overall muscular system. If your grip is slipping, chances are your body is weakening in other areas as well. Joe's walking pace demonstrates that his body is functioning efficiently, while Frank's slower, shakier steps could be signaling deeper health concerns. A gradual decline in walking ability is not merely a part of aging. It can point toward muscle weakness, reduced circulation, or even early stages of neurological decline. Your legs are the very pillars of your body. When they begin to lose strength, your overall resilience diminishes. The encouraging news is that walking speed can be improved. The more you walk, the stronger and more stable you become. If you have noticed yourself slowing down, do not brush it aside. Begin with small, consistent efforts: daily walks, light resistance training, or simple leg strengthening exercises. Because in the end, the way you move through life literally can tell you much about how long you will continue moving at all. Pay close attention to your pace. It might be one of the simplest yet most reliable checks on your longevity. Sign number 2, your grip strength. Believe it or not, the strength of your handshake may carry more information about your future than you ever imagined. Studies reveal that grip strength is among the clearest indicators of overall vitality in older adults. A firm, steady handshake reflects healthy muscles, strong blood flow, and a well-functioning nervous system. On the other hand, a weak or fading grip can serve as an early warning that your body is losing muscle, becoming frailer, and possibly facing a higher risk of complications that could shorten your lifespan. Consider Robert, a 78-year-old man who always took pride in the strength of his handshake. He remained active, enjoyed lifting light weights, and never found difficulty opening jars or carrying grocery bags. The more strength you lose, the more challenging it becomes to remain independent, active, and resilient. The positive side is that grip strength can be rebuilt. Simple daily practices such as squeezing a tennis ball, using hand grippers, or carrying light weights can make a noticeable difference. Take a moment to test your own grip. If shaking hands feels weaker than before, or if ordinary tasks are becoming harder, do not ignore these signals. Now, let us move forward to the next sign. Sign number 3. Your ability to stand on one leg. Balance is not something most of us think about until we begin losing it. But the truth is, your ability to stand on one foot for at least 10 seconds is one of the clearest signs of how long you may live. Researchers have consistently found that older adults who have difficulty maintaining balance are far more likely to suffer falls, injuries, and even cognitive decline. On the other hand, those who can stand steadily on one leg well into their 70s and beyond usually live longer and healthier lives. Picture two women, Carol and Nancy, both in their early 70s. Carol has always cared about her health. She walks every day, practices yoga, and can easily lift one foot off the ground for several seconds without trembling. Nancy, in contrast, has not paid much attention to her balance throughout her life. When she attempts to stand on one leg, she quickly tips over and must grab onto something nearby to keep from falling. What Nancy does not realize is that this loss of balance is not just a minor inconvenience. It is a serious signal that her coordination, muscle strength, and even her brain function may be in decline. Good balance depends on strong leg muscles, a sharp nervous system, and a healthy, alert brain. If you find yourself stumbling more often, feeling unsteady when turning quickly, or constantly needing to hold onto walls or furniture, then it is time to act. The positive news is that balance can be improved. Simple daily practices such as standing on one foot for a few seconds, walking heel to toe in a straight line, or doing gentle Tai Chi exercises can greatly rebuild your stability. Try this test now. Stand up and lift one foot off the ground. Can you hold it for 10 full seconds without losing your balance? If not, do not panic, but do not dismiss it either. Because the more you work on your balance today, the stronger and more secure you will remain in the years to come. Sign number 4, your sleeping patterns. The way you sleep each night reveals far more about your future health than you might imagine. Sleep is not just about resting. It is the time when your body repairs damaged tissues, strengthens the immune system, and clears away harmful toxins from the brain. Studies have shown that people over 70 who maintain consistent, high-quality sleep tend to live longer and healthier lives. In contrast, those who struggle with poor sleep are at greater risk of memory decline, heart disease, and weakened immunity. Think about two men, Henry and Bill, both in their mid-70s. Henry goes to bed at a steady hour, sleeps around 7 hours each night, and wakes up refreshed. Bill, however, tosses and turns throughout the night, often waking multiple times and sometimes lying awake for hours before sleep finally comes. Over time, Henry's body continues to perform well, his mind stays sharp, and his energy remains steady. Bill, meanwhile, begins to suffer from brain fog, constant fatigue, and even fluctuations in his blood pressure, all of which are linked to poor sleep quality. If you find yourself waking up several times at night, struggling to stay asleep, or feeling exhausted even after spending hours in bed, your body is sending you an urgent message. Poor sleep can be caused by stress, poor diet, lack of physical activity, or undiagnosed conditions like sleep apnea. The encouraging news is that sleep quality can improve. Reducing screen time before bed, sticking to a nightly routine, getting morning sunlight, and avoiding heavy meals before bedtime can make a dramatic difference. Remember, sleep is not only about feeling well rested, it is about ensuring your body and mind remain strong and functional. So tonight, pay close attention to how you sleep. If you wake tired, find it hard to stay asleep, or notice your sleep patterns changing, make adjustments now. Because the way you rest today may very well determine how healthy and energetic you remain in the future. If you are still watching this video and continue to find these insights valuable, please comment the number 4 below to let me know you are following along. And if you have not subscribed yet, I recommend you do so and activate the bell notification. Your support helps us create even more helpful content to inform, inspire, and guide you. Now, let us continue to the next sign. Sign number 5, your appetite and eating habits. The way you eat after the age of 70 is one of the strongest indicators of how long you may live. A healthy appetite and a balanced diet help your body stay strong, keep your immune system resilient, and maintain stable energy levels. On the other hand, a sudden decline in appetite or the adoption of poor eating habits may signal hidden health problems and can even accelerate the aging process. Take, for example, two women, Margaret and Susan, both 74 years old. Margaret looks forward to her meals. She enjoys a variety of fresh, whole foods and has maintained a steady weight over the years. She genuinely looks forward to preparing her own meals and feels energized throughout her day. Susan, however, has noticed that her appetite has faded compared to before. She often skips meals, relies heavily on packaged processed foods, and has unintentionally lost weight over the course of the past year. What she does not yet realize is that her shrinking appetite is not a minor adjustment. It is a serious red flag that her body may no longer be absorbing the essential nutrients it needs. This lack of nourishment can weaken her muscles, slow down her metabolism, and gradually compromise her immune defenses. In older adults, a decreased appetite is often tied to deeper health concerns, including digestive problems, hormonal shifts, or even the early stages of cognitive decline. When the body is not getting enough food, it begins breaking down its own muscle for energy, which leads to weakness, frailty, and a much greater risk of illness or falls. If you have noticed troubling changes in your eating patterns, whether it is feeling uncomfortably full after just a few bites, losing interest in meals altogether, or experiencing unexplained weight loss, it is crucial that you act quickly. Eating well after the age of 70 is not merely about satisfying hunger. It is about fueling your body with the nutrition it requires to function at its best. Focus on whole, nutrient-dense foods. Remember to stay hydrated, and never dismiss a loss of appetite as something trivial. It could very well be your body's way of warning you that something important needs attention. Ask yourself, are you still enjoying your meals? Are you getting sufficient protein, fiber, and healthy fats to maintain your strength? Or have you begun noticing a steady decline in appetite and energy? The way you eat today will directly influence how strong, independent, and resilient you will remain in the years ahead. Sign number 6, your ability to handle stress. The way you cope with stress after turning 70 can reveal a great deal about how long you might live. Chronic, unmanaged stress does not simply influence your mood, it weakens your immune defenses, raises your risk of heart disease, and even speeds up the aging process itself. On the other hand, people who learn to manage stress in healthy ways often stay stronger, more active, and mentally sharp well into advanced age. Take, for example, John and Richard, both 76 years old. John faces the same challenges as anyone else: unexpected expenses, health scares, family struggles, but he has learned to face them calmly and steadily. He practices deep breathing, stays socially connected, and avoids dwelling on problems longer than necessary. Richard, however, clings to his stress. He worries constantly about things he cannot control, feels overwhelmed by even small frustrations, and often finds himself trapped in negative thinking. Over time, this constant tension takes a serious toll. His blood pressure climbs, his sleep suffers, and his overall energy begins to fade. Long-term stress stirs up inflammation throughout the body, and this has been linked to nearly every major age-related illness, from Alzheimer's disease to cardiovascular conditions. If you often feel tense, irritable, or emotionally exhausted, do not ignore it. Finding healthy outlets, whether through mindfulness, physical activity, deep breathing, prayer, or even laughter, can truly add years to your life. Ask yourself honestly, when difficulties appear, do you adapt and move forward, or do you hold on to worry and allow stress to control your days? Your ability to remain calm, search for solutions, and focus on what you can control is not just good for your mind, it is a key factor in how long and how well you will live. If you are still watching and finding these insights helpful, please comment the number 6 below to let me know you are still with me. And if you have not yet subscribed, now is the perfect time. Turn on the notification bell so you will never miss a video. Your support inspires us to keep creating valuable content to guide and encourage you. Now, let us continue. Sign number 7, your social connections. The strength and depth of your relationships may be one of the clearest predictors of how long you will live after 70. Numerous studies have shown that people with strong social ties, whether through family, close friendships, or community involvement, enjoy longer, healthier lives. In contrast, loneliness and social isolation are strongly linked to increased risks of heart disease, depression, cognitive decline, and even early death. Consider two women, Eleanor and Barbara, both 78 years old. Eleanor maintains an active and fulfilling social life. She stays in touch with longtime friends, participates in a neighborhood book club, and enjoys quality time with her family. She looks forward to conversations, laughs often, and feels a true sense of belonging. Barbara, however, spends most of her days alone. She has lost contact with many old friends, and although she still has family, she rarely reaches out. As the months pass, she grows increasingly isolated. Her mood declines, and her overall health begins to weaken. Human connection is not just about emotional comfort, it directly influences physical health. When you engage socially, your brain stays active, your stress levels drop, and your body releases chemicals that promote well-being. If you find yourself withdrawing from social interactions, ignoring phone calls, or spending far more time alone than before, it is time to take action. Staying connected does not mean you must always be surrounded by people. Even small steps, reaching out to an old friend, joining a group with similar interests, or making time for meaningful conversations can completely change your outlook. The relationships you nurture today will not only bring happiness, they will also help ensure you remain healthier and live longer in the years to come. Final thoughts. Now that you know these 7 vital signs, pause for a moment and reflect on where you currently stand. Are you moving through life with strength and confidence, or have you begun noticing subtle changes that may be early warning signals? The encouraging truth is that most of these factors, your walking speed, your grip strength, your balance, your sleep quality, your eating patterns, your stress levels, and your social connections are areas you can actively improve. Your future is not written in stone. The choices you make today can dramatically influence how many fulfilling years you still have ahead. If you recognize areas where improvement is needed, do not wait for a doctor to warn you. Start right now. Take more walks, build muscle strength, prioritize healthy sleep, maintain nourishing meals, learn to manage stress, and keep your social life alive. The goal is not simply to extend the number of years, but to ensure those years are full of vitality, independence, and joy. Because in the end, longevity is not just measured in the quantity of days you live, but in the quality of those days. Thank you sincerely for spending this time with us. We would love to hear from you. Leave a comment below and share one key insight you gained today, along with how you plan to apply it in your life. Your voice matters to us, and reading your comments gives us motivation and encouragement. If you enjoyed this video and found it valuable, please like, subscribe, and share. Your support enables us to continue producing meaningful content to educate and inspire you. We truly appreciate you, and we look forward to seeing you in the next video.